get into the video, ठीक है ना, कि what is actually happening in China, ठीक है, and it's very serious. It's very serious.
in China,
Okay.
and it may change history. Actually, in the past couple of years, protests and uprisings of all sizes have broken out across China. Beyond the ongoing demonstration by angry homeowners over unfinished homes and depositors protesting the loss of their savings, several events stood out. The first was the massive staff walkout at the Foxconn factory in Jiangyou, also
Okay.
known as the iPhone City, in October 2022, at the height
Okay.
of the zero COVID. Then, just weeks later, came the white paper movement. And then in November 2024, the Night Ride movement emerged, sparked by college students in Zhengzhou. The Foxconn and Night Ride movement both took place in Zhengzhou, Henan. But do you know that there's one region where unrest is especially sensitive for the authorities? And that place is Sichuan. Now, when I say Sichuan,
Yes.
what comes to mind? Maybe pandas, hot pot, spicy food for
समझ
sure.
नहीं आ रहा, कैसे नहीं
Or
आ
that
रहा
famous
समझ में.
tongue-numbing spice. Yes, Sichuan is known for its bold and fiery cuisine. But just like their food, the people of Sichuan are spirited, strong, and unafraid. What many people don't realize is that Sichuan holds a special place in Chinese history, especially during times of chaos and dynastic change. And there's a famous expression, and it's called, let me show it to you. Where is it? Oh, here it is. So it's called 天下未乱属先乱，天下已平属未平. So it means before the nation falls into chaos, Sichuan is already in turmoil.
Yes.
And even after the country is pacified, Sichuan is often the last to settle.
Exactly.
So this pattern has repeated itself throughout Chinese history. Take the Sichuan Railway Protection Movement in 1911, for example. That uprising was the spark that helped
मैं इस चीज
ignite
के
the
बारे में
Xinhai
बहुत देर से
Revolution
देख रही थी, ठीक है ना. Once I found about
that
this
brought down
case,
the Qing dynasty.
that was very bad. और फिर मैं
so
बहुत ज़्यादा इस सिटी के बारे में
What
देखा.
happened was
Then I
when the
found
Qing
about
government
these
announced
things
that it would
also.
nationalize the Sichuan Hankou Railway and hand control to foreign financiers, people in Sichuan saw that it was a betrayal to them, and it was a betrayal to their local interests. So in response, they organized the Railway Protection League and launched protests. And it soon escalated into a mass uprising, and the Qing court responded with force. But the crackdown only inflamed public anger and ultimately helped trigger the Wuchang uprising that brought down the entire dynasty. And now history may be stirring again. And in the past 2 days, the fiery people of Sichuan once again clashed with authorities. The intensity of the confrontation is something that we haven't seen in the past couple of years in China under the CCP's tightly controlled surveillance. And that old saying has returned to the public mind. Sichuan is the first to rise when a dynasty is about to fall. So could this be the prelude to something larger, right? Something that challenges the very foundation of the current regime. Let me tell you about what has happened in a city called Jiangyou, which is near Mianyang, Sichuan. So it all happened on July 22nd. One of the attackers was believed to be the daughter of a local government official, according to local people's claims. While the victim is the daughter of a couple who are disabled. However, the authorities protected the perpetrators,
Yes.
and their leniency and lack of action sparked public outrage. People gathered to demand justice. The local police used force to crack down. People became defiant, triggering a mass protest. And some people shouted, "Down with the Communist Party and down with Xi Jinping." So let me break down exactly what happened and explain why this event is significant. So multiple videos circulating online. So the event of the bullying took place on July 22nd.
Yes. It's like
so
कोई पुराना केस नहीं है. 22 जुलाई को exactly ये केस हुआ था.
Videos were uploaded by the perpetrators, by the 3 girls who bullied the 14-year-old, whose last name is Lai. So Miss Lai was lured by several girls her age, also 13 and 14, allegedly her classmates, to a building. And so there were multiple videos showing her being forced to strip, verbally humiliated, and violently beaten for 4 hours. The attackers documented the abuse and uploaded the footage themselves to
Please notice that she was beaten for 4 hours, okay, forcefully made her strip, beaten, and also the video was uploaded by the preparator. ठीक है ना, जिन्होंने उसको bully किया था, they were the only people जिन्होंने वो video upload भी किया था, and like they faced no consequences.
social media. At one point, the victim said that her father would call the police, and one of the bullies said, "You think we're afraid? We've been in there before." And
Yes.
another one added, "We've been in the police, we've been in the police station more than 10 times, and we're always out in under 20 minutes."
30 minutes.
And these three girls also stole the victim's phone, threatened to sell it, and even forced her to hand over money, which they then used to take a cab to go home after the assault. So people familiar with the case say the victim comes from a poor family. Her mother is deaf and mute. Her father is a peasant, but is also handicapped. The girl has been bullied by the same group before and was reportedly isolated at school because she came from a poor family. And that the same group is believed to have targeted other victims as well. Now, here's what happened. After 10 days of the incident, on August the 2nd, the attackers' videos began to go viral across China.
Yes.
The victims' parents went to school to seek justice, and they knelt before school and government officials begging for help. They also reported the case to the police, but were
Copy
brushed
in
off.
real life. For real.
Online
But the
rumors
difference
claim
is
that one of
कि
the
इसमें
attackers'
parents are
parents
very
is the deputy chief of the local police.
parents are vulnerable
Now,
अपनी
under
बच्चे की
enormous
side के
public
लिए.
pressure, the local police issued a statement on August the 4th, saying medical examiners determined the girl had only suffered minor injuries. But according to the videos, the
oh my
beating
god, please, please, please. This is the point जहाँ पे मुझे ज़्यादा गुस्सा आया था. Why I got angry is because जो डॉक्टर ने बोला है that she only suffered minor injuries. आप देख सकते हो उसका पूरा का पूरा चेहरा पूरा सूजा हुआ है. Her eyes cannot be opened. उसके You can see the video also. वहाँ पे वो steel rod से उसको पीट रही है. How can that be a minor injury?
was severe and lasted for hours. Some local sources say that the victim's mother fainted after watching the video of her daughter's abuse. And also the police claim that the two attackers received administrative punishment and will be transferred to another school. And they will be given just what's called criticism and education sessions. So to many people in China, this is a familiar script.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Many people in China, this is a familiar script, and this is not just in China. Let me be very honest, be very vulnerable to you. This is very common in India also. Just the fact that people don't know what bullying is, तो वो सोचते हैं कि ओ इमोशनली या फिर फिजिकल, अगर फिजिकली हुआ है तभी वो बुलिंग है. इवन फिजिकली भी इंडिया में बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. एशियन कंट्रीज में ही बुलिंग इज़ अ वेरी सिवियर प्रॉब्लम. बट अगर हम इंडिया की बात करें, पीपल डोंट नो द डिफरेंस बिटवीन बुलिंग एंड जोक्स. ठीक है, बी माई सेल्फ, आई हैव सफर्ड बुलिंग एंड आई नो हाउ इट फील्स. ओके, एंड यहाँ पर दे आर सेइंग कि वो जो 3 लड़कियां थी जिन्होंने हु बुलीड दिस गर्ल, ठीक है ना, उनको दूसरे स्कूल में ट्रांसफ़र कर दिया गया. दे गोना गेट एजुकेशन ऑन हाउ आपको बुली नहीं करना है, ये सब कुछ फलाना एंड ढमकाना, ऑल ओवर दैट एक्स्ट्रा शिट्स. ठीक है ना, जबकि द सेम 3 गर्ल्स सेड कि वो 10 टाइम्स डिटेंशन में जा चुकी हैं एंड दे हैव बीन फ्रीड 20 मिनट में. हाउ कैन यू से कि आपकी कुछ भाषण या फिर कुछ स्टूपिड मोटिवेशन की वजह से दे गोना लीव बुलिंग बिहाइंड? Like this does not make sense and it's a huge problem in China. I know that क्योंकि मैंने चाइना के इतने ज़्यादा bullying के cases पढ़ लिए हैं that I am literally shocked कि why when China is so much ahead of other countries, bullying is still a problem in small towns. छोटे छोटे शहरों में bullying आज की problem क्यों है in 2025?
Privileged children, especially those of party officials, face no real consequences, no matter how serious the crime. And cases like this happen every day across China. And in most places, people stay silent, but not in Sichuan, not this time. The people of Jiangyou, a small city of just 730,000 people, stood up. So they cried out. They said her mother is deaf and mute. She cannot speak, so we will. And they made their voices heard, loud and clear. So what happened is they went to the school. I think in some cases they went to the local government, trying to talk to the officials, demand justice. And large crowds also gathered at major intersections, also in front of the school and also in front of the government building. And then despite police roadblocks, people pushed through, chanting, "Tell the truth, punish the attackers, and we want justice." And they call for a full investigation. And then, this is what the local government did. While they pretend talking to the protesters. I mean, in the initial stage, the protests were peaceful. I mean, people were just chanting, and they just want the government to punish for those who I mean, they just want justice for the girl and her family. So in the beginning, the government officials were talking to the victim's family and their supporters. And then the people were, towards the evening of I think it was August the 4th, that evening, towards the end of that, people were kind of leaving leaving the school because they thought that the situation would be handled. But secretly, the local government called in police reinforcement from the Mianyang city. And so when those police forces, maybe they're the armed police forces, came, and they started to beat up the local protesters.
Exactly.
So
the protesters were not doing बहुत ऐसा कुछ कि आप उसको पीटो,
and then
नहीं कर रहे
videos
थे
from that
वो.
night showed scenes get out of control. It was like a battlefield, with smokes in the air, streets flooded with police, and even what sounded like gunshots. So now let me play you the video.
This was the scene.
So the first 52 seconds were the initial stage of the
Look at the parents. Okay. Abhi parents nahi hai. I'm gonna show you the parents. These are the parents.
Here are the parents of the victim, kneeling down in front of the official, begging for help. But the official's response was very a cookie cutter, shall we say. It was very cold, and people were upset.
Look at them. Look at them.
This young man was defending the old lady standing next to him, and the police beat him up. And this is the truck, and this is what people got really upset, because this is the truck normally used to transport animals like pigs and cattle, but they're used in this case to transport the detained.
Yes, this is the truck जहाँ पे उन लोगों को detain किया गया और पूरे शहर में घुमाया गया. These are humans, not even animals.
And that's what angered people, right? So because if you look carefully, the trucks, in the front of the truck, it says, ironically, liberation. And this is very strange, because Chinese police usually throw protesters into like buses or vans and beat them up in the van. They don't publicly parade them in these kind of caged trucks used for livestock, to move livestock. So this is very humiliating. And then and it offended the public, as if the authorities were saying, "You're pigs, and we decide your fate." So and
that we're gonna, if agar aap protest karenge against this situation, we're gonna show you what happens with you, like just like these people.
After midnight, after the police force from Mianyang arrived, the police used tear gas, sprayed pepper spray, and they violently arrested more people. And that's when things really got out of control. So let me play you the video.
Hi, Arnav. the crowd. Look at the crowd. Oh god. Oh god, इसको मार रहे हैं लोगों को. Oh, oh, यहाँ से you can see कि situation is so bad. Okay, from this only you can see the situation बहुत ज़्यादा खराब है.
Okay. So the last scene that you saw was 3 a.m. The morning of August the 5th. Yeah, people were chanting, down with Xi Jinping, down with the CCP. It's the most how to say, intense public uprising that I've seen in recent years.
Yeah.
Some people said that as many as 10,000 people were on site. I mean, there were definitely a few thousands, but some people say there were as many as 10,000. Now, by the next day, August the 5th, posts on Chinese social media said the situation was still extremely tense. Police were arresting people across the city based on their identities. I mean, they obviously used some kind of face recognition app testers. And then so I've seen videos where people were arrested at their homes. And some videos show people being dragged from their homes. Some people tried to live stream the protests or the incidents or confront the officers on camera. But in every case, police swamped the scene within seconds, and the video feed was abruptly cut.
बेसिकली यही था. मैं देखो बेसिकली तो मैं यहीं तक ये वीडियो दिखाना था, ठीक है ना. तो मैं यहीं तक आई वांटेड टू शो यू दैट एग्जैक्टली जितना आपको चाइना लग रहा है कि वो चाइना बहुत ज़्यादा आगे है. ओके, चाइनीज़ पीपल आर लिविंग इन फ्यूचर एंड वो बहुत ज़्यादा सुंदर है. पीपल देयर बहुत ज़्यादा काम है. देयर नॉट रेसिस्ट और समथिंग. ओके, एंड लाइक वहाँ पे जितना भी हमने सोशल मीडिया पे देखा था, दिस इज़ नॉट लाइक व्हाट इज़ इन चाइना.